This is Weird663 bringing you Rainbow Moon. This is going to be an episode on Cassar Island. It's also going to have some mechanics to follow with it. I'm going to choose to play this under normal difficulty. I've decided to go ahead and play Adventuresome Playstyle. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and then I'm going to tell it I'm ready to play the game. And I'm going to go ahead and turn up the audio so that you can hear the cutscene. And then I'm going to turn it back down afterwards.
On one of those gloomy nights, Baldwin made his way to the annual duel with Namoris. Although he was quite confident of winning, he was curious about the venue for this year's fight. Elye Woods was known for its dangerous portals, and any sane person avoided this place whenever possible. This in mind, Baldwin stepped deeper into the woods, searching for Namoris. Suddenly, one of the notorious gates appeared right in front of him. The blue glow of the mysterious portal was so beautiful that he felt paralyzed for a moment. This was the moment Namoris had been waiting for. In the blink of an eye, he grabbed his chance and attacked Baldwin. With a blow from behind, he forced Baldwin into the gate, activating it and establishing a dimensional stream. Baldwin regained consciousness, but it was too late. His body was locked within a magic helix that was pulling him into the gate. The last thing he could remember was the taunting laughter of Namoris, and thousands of creatures appearing out of nowhere. And then darkness surrounded him. An hour must have passed before he woke up. What could possibly have happened? Where was he now? Could this really all have been the work of his rival? But this is a story that has yet to be told. Rainbow Moon.
When you start off, you find yourself standing in front of the warp portal. Let's go ahead and get those icons off the screen by hitting square for the map and then triangle for the menu. When inside the menu, I'm going to select System. I'm going to shrink my screen down to -18 on both width and height, only because on my television screen I cannot see everything. I did not realize at first that my actual recording device was going to stretch it out. Hopefully that'll be fixed on the next video. Alright, let's start off the game by talking with Okimakiri and name our character. Alright, from here we're going to go west, we're going to head north, and we're going to get our first bag and collect the items that are inside of it. Now let's head south and pass up the Trial Imp and go straight for the bag. We're going to try to collect the items out of the bag, and then after we do so, we're going to go ahead and kill the Trial Imp. Since this is going to be our first encounter, a battle tutorial is going to pop up on this screen. I leave each page up for 5 seconds so that you can be able to hopefully read it. If not, just go ahead and pause the video. I do this so I can make sure I can speed up the time of the video so we don't have to worry about me reading. Alright, since this is your first battle, you want to come up with a strategic plan right away. Also notice that the enemies and you both only have one move or one attack on your turn. So that means you want to make sure you try to place the enemy to your advantage, not their advantage. Now let's head northwest to the Trial Imp 1 enemy who's actually protecting a bag. Now let's collect what's inside the bag. Now let's head south to the Trial Imp 2 enemies who's also protecting a bag. Now let's see what's inside the bag. Now begin heading northwest to Cassar Village. The first thing we want to do when we enter the village is find the healer. For the first level, you'll be able to heal yourself at this guy for no cost. Now, the next person we're going to talk to is the Savant. The Savant will be the guy you talk to the most in the game. Reason why is because during actual leveling up in the game, you do not gain any attributes except for hit points, magic points, along with possibly an extra turn and a skill point. Now, you get rainbow pearls by every enemy you defeat. Every enemy will drop at least one rainbow pearl. Speed in this game is very important, so we're going to go ahead and put 1 point towards our speed so we can get a faster turn in our turn order. Begin heading south to the level 1 Trial Imp 2 enemies who's also guarding a bag. It may not look like it at first, but if you look right about now up at the turn order, you'll notice that we gain one extra turn during our turn in this turn order. Now unfortunately, it will be a gradual increase, so don't expect it to be like right away. The more you increase your speed, the more you'll see yourself getting more turns. Now let's see what's inside the bag. Let's head west to the pink-haired lady named Thierney. After being accused of the person who brought the monsters to the world, Thierney will offer you a quest to prove yourself by bringing back 3 sheer wings from the tiny bees to the north.
See you.
Now let's head north to Merridon and begin the main questline. As we speak with Merridon, we come to find out that he's really upset about having to chop wood with a toy axe. He wishes for you to go to Ed Orable's and find out if Saratharad, the only person with the real axe, has actually made it to him, and if he has, he would like for you to bring back the axe to him. Now let's speak with Ryshenn. Even though the conversation starts off about how she wishes to go to the island to the west, she'll offer you a quest that has you bring back 3 imp wings. Now you can fight the imps in the location around you and collect the imp wings for her to give you an item for a reward. Now let's go to the item shop. Inside the item shop, you'll notice that every item here says new. There's a few reasons for that. Mainly, you haven't collected the item out of a chest, you haven't used the item, or equipped the item. Inside the item shop right now, though, we're going to go ahead and sell tiny potions. Reason why is because inventory is a dire in this game. You must clear your inventory as often as possible, either by using the items or selling the items. Now let's go to our healer for our very last heal, because after this next battle, we're going to be leveling up. Now let's begin by heading northeast to the Trowel Imp level 1 2 enemies, and let's kill them. Now during this battle, you don't have to worry about your HP due to the fact that when you level up, you automatically get full HP and mana. So just worry about wailing on them and finishing the battle as soon as possible. Now let's head back to the Savant and level up our speed. Now let's begin heading back northeast, and this time we're going to take on the level 1 Imp 3 enemies. Continue heading northeast to Rinnevor. He will actually tell you that yes, Road actually passed through here, but unfortunately because of the storm, it actually opened up a hole in the ground that can actually be covered by a ladder that you can get from Merridon. Now let's return back to the village. Once inside the village, you want to head back to Merridon so that he can give us our ladder so we can continue on with the quest. Now let's head back to the hole in the ground so that we can use the ladder. After you use the ladder, you want to sit there and slowly nudge your way up to the chest so you can open it up. Collect every item that's inside the chest, including your very first skill, which is called Shield Bash. Now let's work our way back towards the village, but instead of going into the village, this time we're going to go to the east. We're going to the campfire area. Inside the campfire area, there'll be 2 bags on the ground. Let's go ahead and open up both bags and collect the items, or at least use the items that are in the bag. Campfires in this game is a very useful tool. Once a day, you're allowed to use the campfire and speed up time in the end game by 6 in-gaming hours. Let's go ahead and use the campfire, and you'll see that while you're using the campfire, it heals you only for your health. Now, you can also quit camp at any given time. Now remember, if it actually leads over to another day, it doesn't matter. You can still use it again because you started it in a previous day. Now let's return back to the Savant and level up our speed. As we made our way back to the Savant, we passed up a level 1 5 enemy trial imp. Let's go back there and defeat them. Now that the battle is over, let's go ahead and open up the bag and collect the items that are in it. Now let's head back to the Savant and max out our speed and start working on our strength.
Yes? Yes, goodbye.
Alright, there comes a time in every RPG game that you actually have to grind for some levels. We're going to do that now until we grind to level 4 so that we can actually defeat the tiny bees to the north. Once you defeated about 6 to 8 enemies, let's head back to the Savant and cap out our speed to 6. Then we're going to go to our luck. We're going to increase our luck so we can help increase our critical strike chance. Alright, let's go ahead and continue grinding at the moment until it gets to about 17 on the clock. Then we want to make our way back to the campfire. Alright, this is going to be another tactic feature. We want to make sure we make our way back to the campfire. Reason why is because we want to make sure that when we start fighting the bees, it's going to be on Moon Day. So if we do this tactic correctly, we should be able to make sure that when it is time to actually fight the tiny bees, we can manipulate the system to work in our favor. Alright, let's head back to the Savant. We should have enough points right now that we can put some into our strength and our luck. So let's make sure we go ahead and do that now. Alright, let's go ahead and now continue grinding until we reach level 4. Alright, I noticed that I need to waste some in-game time, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and go up to the Savant and level up 2 points into my luck as well as 1 point into my strength.
Yes, goodbye.
Now let's find that last battle and level up. Now that you've gained level 4, you will notice that you gain an extra turn in your turns. This means that when it becomes your turn, you actually have 2 abilities or 2 movements you can actually do on your turn. Alright, let's head back to the Savant and make sure that we have 4 in our strength, 6 in our speed, and 6 in our luck. This is very important we have it set up like this.
Yes, goodbye.
Alright, let's make our way back to the campfire. Now remember, if you've been anything like me right now, you probably neglected your hunger bar. We're going to go ahead and focus on that by making sure we use some of our miscellaneous items so we can also open up some more miscellaneous spots, because we're going to need that later. Once you're finished, go ahead and use the campfire and make sure that you stop it no later than 17. Now, if you run across a problem like I have and you actually started to sleep too early, you'll have to just walk around until you actually make it the next day. Now once you've actually made it to the next day, let's go ahead and fight that tiny bee level 3, 2 enemies. Now let's head northwest and fight the tiny bee level 3, 2 enemies. Now follow the path and fight any enemies along the way. As you make your way to the top, you'll see a bag. Open the bag up, collect the items in it, and make your way back down to the open chest. Alright, let's fight this imp and every enemy along this path. Alright, let's go to our chest and get our first permanent stat upgrade item, along with using the items that are in the chest or collecting them. Now let's continue making our way to the east. Alright, now we're going to make our way to another chest with a temporary boost as well as another permanent upgrade. Alright, let's go ahead and fight this Trial Imp, and as we start to fight the Trial Imp, we notice in the right hand corner there was a campfire as well as a hole in the ground. Across from that hole in the ground is Ed Orable. So we made it to our destination, but we still have some time on the Moon Day clock. So instead of actually going there right away, we're going to go ahead and fight more battles afterwards so that we can use Moon Day to our advantage as best as possible. Now, we're going to come across another pop-up in the game. The game seems to like to always let us know when to do things. This one happens to be to make sure that you save your game. So make sure if you haven't saved your game, now is a good time to do so. Alright, remember earlier how I was telling you to make sure that you try to make it to a campfire at a certain time? Well, I try to make it to the campfire at that particular time, and I miss it by a few. So, I was going to use a campfire, but then I changed my mind. Since I'm over by the area of the village, I decided I had all the items for this quest. So I'm going to go ahead and turn in this quest, and she's going to give me in replace an item. The item she's going to give me happens to be called the Daily Grind Hood Plus, which is my first armor piece. Now that I have all the items for Thierney as well, I'm going to go down to Thierney and speak with her. She's going to give me a reward as well for turning in the quest. This item is going to be called the Daily Grind Armor Plus. This will make my second armor piece that I can equip.
See you.
Now I need to make my way back to the item shop, but unfortunately at this time it's closed, so I need to waste a few steps to make it appear. Now when the item shop appears, you want to make sure that you sell 2 tiny potions. Remember, it's all about inventory, and what we're about to do, we need to have as much space in our inventory as possible.
Thank you.
Since we're close to the Savant, we're going to go ahead and go to the Savant. Now here, what we mainly want to do is cap everything that we can to 8. So what we're going to focus on when I say everything is our strength, our defense, our luck, and our speed. If you have a little bit more, go ahead and throw that into your strength. Alright, now it's time to make our way up to Ed Orable and fight any enemy along the way. Now that we made our way to Ed Orable, we find out that Sarotharod has not made his way here. He's a little concerned about this and thinks that maybe because of the storm, he may have had to take shelter in the Southport Mines located to the south. He wants you to go investigate this, and he believes he might be there, so he's going to give you a quest item to help you along the way called a Brashly Mammoth Saw. If you happen to fight any enemies along the way coming back up here, let's go ahead and go to the Savant and put any of those points towards our strength to try to cap it up to 10. Now begin making your way to the south and fight any enemies along the way. We can see that there's a bag to the north. Let's go ahead and collect that before continuing going south. Now let's head south and use that Brashly Mammoth saw that we got from Ed Orable. Now that we've made it to the Southport Mines, we come to a Tifi. A Tifi's a little concerned that you're going to walk into the dark mines, so he's going to give you 3 torches. Now let's kill this level 3, 6 enemy tiny bee that's blocking the entrance to the mine. As soon as you make your way into the mine, you will notice that it automatically tells you that this is considered a dungeon. Now that we made our way into the mine, we happen to notice that there's a savant. Let's speak to the savant and make sure we have 10 in strength, 10 in defense, 8 in speed, and 8 in luck. It is very important in order to handle this dungeon. We have our stats set like this.
Yes, goodbye. Yes.
Now let's go fight that wannabe hero, level 5, 1 enemy. First thing you're going to notice off the wannabe heroes is they actually have 2 movements. This is going to have to change your tactics a little bit. When fighting wannabe heroes, you will notice the only attack plan you should do is attack and defend. Especially in this entire dungeon, that's going to be the tactic. Because if you don't, they'll take off a massive hunk off of your hit points if you leave yourself undefended. Alright, let's go ahead and kill these tiny bees and then collect the bag when we're finished. We're going to try to make sure we set a goal for this dungeon. The goal for this dungeon is to try to have this dungeon defeated or completed before Moon Day. Now let's go ahead and see what's inside the bag and collect the items out of it. Now that we've collected everything out of the bag, we want to begin heading northeast. Let's go ahead and kill both of these wannabe heroes. After fighting the wannabe heroes, we happen to notice they were guarding a chest. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. And if we can't take everything, I guess we'll just have to leave some items behind. Alright, a random battle. Let's see here. Let's talk about the random battles in this dungeon. I would not recommend doing random battles in this dungeon due to the fact that they already have pre-made up battles for you with enemies that you should be able to handle on your own. The random battles, that is not going to be the same thing. You will find yourself sometimes in a predicament that may be out of your control to be able to do a random battle. So, I would not recommend doing random battles during this dungeon at this moment. Now, since we're at the beginning of the starting area of this mine, don't forget that outside is a healer, so always rely on your resources. So let's go ahead and go out to the healer and heal up any of our wounds. Once you're finished, let's head back inside the mine. Let's go to the Savant. Let's try to stick whatever points we can into our strength and our defense for this moment. Now let's begin heading northwest inside the mine. Now let's continue heading west down the mine and we'll come across a chest. Inside this chest will be your first upgraded weapon. It'll be called the Toy Sword Plus. Let's go ahead and equip that as well. Now let's head north from the chest. On the northern part of the wall, we're going to see a small little gap in the wall. We want to go inside there and we'll see a question mark. Inside this question mark is an item. Throughout the game, you'll find several question marks like this. We've now found a smith. A smith is a very important character in the game. He will help you actually upgrade your weapons or armor to help you better handle the enemies throughout the game. Since I don't have anything I really want to focus on with the items that I have, I'm just going to go ahead and open up the chest and bypass the smith. After opening up the chest, let's begin heading southeast. Now let's continue heading south and we'll come across the bag. Let's go ahead and open up the bag and collect whatever items that are in it. After taking the items out of the bag, head to the northwestern corner of the wall to another question mark. Now let's begin going southwest and immediately go towards the south with the wannabe hero. Continue making your way south following the path, and you will come across 2 bags. You want to collect the items you can out of the bags as best as you can. If you can't collect all the items, at least come back for them later. Now let's begin traveling north and immediately take the path to the west. As you start walking, you'll notice the item shop and a savant. Let's go ahead and go to the item shop and begin selling the useless items that we don't need. Now let's go ahead and buy your first recovery expander. This will actually give you 2 more recovery item slots.
Thank you.
Now let's go to the Savant and make sure we raise up our speed and our luck to 10 and our defense and our strength up to 12. Next to the Savant happens to be a chest. Let's open up the chest, grab the items that are in it, and you also will obtain your second skill ability. Now let's continue heading west to another chest. Inside this chest will be a white crystal used for upgrading your items to another level, as well as a miscellaneous expander. Let's go ahead and use the expander, for it will actually give you 5 more miscellaneous slots. Now let's head east, and as we make our way east, we'll come across the healer. Let's go ahead and heal up. Now that we're healed, let's go ahead and begin traveling south. After the fight, go ahead and continue traveling south to a bag. Now collect the items that are inside. We're near the end of the dungeon, so healing is going to be a main factor right now. So let's go ahead and heal. Now let's head north and fight the level 5 wannabe heroes, 3 enemies.
Come on! Head!
Now, if you haven't collected all the items that you had to leave behind, let's go ahead and do that now. Now if you had to go back and collect any items, let's go ahead and go back to the item shop and sell any useless items we picked up along the way.
Welcome. Thank you.
Follow the path north, all the way to the northwestern corner. Inside that little gap area, you'll find a question mark. Go ahead and collect the item you find. Now let's begin taking the western path.
Come on! Head! 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 Ha!
Now let's return back to the healer and heal up. Now let's return to where we were.
Come on! Head! Ha! Come on! Head! Ha! Come on! Head! Ha! Ha! Ha!
Once again, let's return back to the healer and heal up again. Alright, now to fight the final wannabe hero. I'm not going to fight both sets. I'm only going to choose to fight the bottom one now.
Come on! Head! Come on! Head! Come on! Head! Come on! Head! Come on! Head!
Alright, let's go ahead and talk to Sarathrod, and he will tell us about his story along with a way to get out of here, and he will give us his legendary cutter axe, which we've been waiting for so long, along with he will give us some rainbow coins. Alright, let's go ahead and start taking the path southwest, following it to a lever. We're going to throw the lever, and when we do, it's going to take us back to the savant that was at the beginning of the Southport Mines. Alright, now that we made our way back to the savant, let's go ahead and throw our points into the defense as well as some of our luck.
yes, goodbye. Yes.
For now, we're done with the Southport Mines, so let's go ahead and exit the mines. Now let's go ahead and heal up. Now let's make our way back up to Ed Orable. Ed Orable is so happy to hear that Saratharad is okay, but he unfortunately can't help you with your problem, so he mentions a place called Onward happens to be on the island to your west. He also tells you about a new companion that you'll come across named Trisha. Now let's quickly make our way back to Cassar Village and fight any enemies along the way.
Come on! Head!
As you make your way back to the village, make sure you check on the bag that respawns next to the well. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to Merridon and turn in that quest. He'll reward you with 2 items in your miscellaneous, but unfortunately I don't remember that, so I have to go sell some items. When finished, he'll give you your 2 items, and he will tell you to talk to Stella, who will help you continue your questline.
Welcome. Thank you. Hiya.
Immediately begin heading northeast to Stella, who happens to be next to the well. Speak with Stella and she will ask for you to kill the enemy that's inside the well, but only after you return her poison flask that was stolen from her by the thieves that are up in the Thieves' Citadel. After she hears that there's a hole next to Ed Orable's location and you can't continue, she will then give you a ladder to help you on your quest. Now before we head back up to Ed Orable, let's go ahead and heal up. Just in case you didn't have any room inside your inventory for the item that was over by the campfire, let's go ahead and go back to the campfire and collect that item. Now let's go ahead and make our way up to Ed Orable's location for that hole so we can place the ladder down, along with fighting any enemies along the way.
Come on! Head!
After you place the ladder down, you'll notice that there is a smith on the other side of the hole, and next to him is a chest. Behind that chest is Trisha. Let's speak with Trisha. When you speak with Trisha, she will tell you that she wants to go with you to the Thief's Citadel. She'll also give you the Thief's Key, as well as become your companion. Alright, you have another teammate who's going to be on your team. There's only one problem. She's a level 3 and you're a level 5. Another problem, she does not have any stats either. She won't have any pearls either. The only way you're going to get pearls is to spend all Moon Day raising up her stats like you did at the beginning of the game. Let's walk north a little bit to lumber so we can grab this item because it's going to be an item we need for a future quest. Now let's head back down to that chest we've seen earlier and grab the items out of it or use what we need. Alright, let's go ahead and start grinding out levels for Trisha, as well as those rainbow pearls. Now, remember, the only person that actually gets the pearls is the one that makes the final attack on the enemy that kills it. So that would mean, in layman's term, Trish has to kill every enemy. Let's go ahead and get this chest right here and get Trisha's first skill ability, Painful Aim. This is going to be used a lot throughout the game, or at least the beginning portion of the game. This is Weird663. This battle is going to conclude this part of Rainbow Moon Cassar Island Part 1.